Big thanks to SetApp for sponsoring our channel this month. SetApp, an app for every job already on your Mac. Hey, it's Chris, and today I'm very excited to announce the best Apple event reaction video I've ever produced. It's really gonna be something. I can't wait to share it with you guys. Today's a big day in the Apple world. We got new iPhones, new Apple Watch. I know a lot of you are already commenting at me being like, Chris, I'm so disappointed. We didn't get AirPower, we didn't get new iPad Pros, we didn't get new AirPods. Well, yeah, but we got some cool stuff. Today's video is sponsored by Diddy and their Lightning Plus auxiliary adapter, which adds a headphone jack back to your iPhone, along with some convenient controls such as volume, play, pause, and EQ settings. If you want to listen to wired headphones while charging your iPhone simultaneously, this is a great solution for you. You can check out Diddy and this affordable, easy to use adapter using the link down in the description. So let's get started with the best new features, in my opinion, in the iPhone lineup. There's 3 new iPhones. There's the iPhone XS, the iPhone XS Max, and then the iPhone XR. The number one new iPhone feature for me is the new camera feature called Depth Control, which lets you control the new enhanced bokeh effect. Bokeh has to do with that background blur you see in photos, which usually gives them a more professional and sophisticated look. Portrait mode on the new iPhones is gonna have an insane new bokeh effect, which you're gonna be able to control after you shoot a photo. So there's a slider, which lets you change the equivalent f-stop, which will make the background more or less blurry. Again, this is after you take the photo. I'm super excited about this. I can't wait to try it out. So there's already an app that does this, if not more. I think the one I'm thinking of was called Focus. The thing was, I always wanted to like it, but I never could. I just was not happy with how the depth effects turned out. I'm hoping that Apple nailed it and that it works as good as it sounds. Importantly, the professional level bokeh effect isn't just for the rear camera. It's also gonna work for the front-facing camera, which means your selfies are about to get even more ridiculous on the iPhone. Here's something that just gives me goosebumps. Can you imagine if Apple brings this to video stuff in a few years? That would be so good. The second coolest new feature announcement today for me is the fact that Apple made bigger screens with the same footprint. So you're getting more screen, but you're not getting a bigger device. Let's face it, you want bigger movies, you want bigger games, you want bigger apps, but you want your phone to be a phone. You don't want it to be as big as a tablet. The third most exciting iPhone feature announcement for me today was the new Smart HDR feature. So thanks to the new A12 Bionic chip, a faster sensor, and some other wizardry, your photos can now have more highlight and more shadow detail. Anything that makes your pictures look better is a good thing. I know this isn't necessarily like a whiz-bang new feature, and we expect it every year, a better camera, but at the same time, it's practical. Like, the iPhone is the most used camera in the world. People use their phones for the cameras as much as they use it for anything else. I also love how Apple uses buffer frames. They shoot 4 extra frames to make sure that a moving subject isn't blurry using that Smart HDR. Number 4 for me, and yes, there are flashier features which I haven't mentioned yet, but again, I'm sticking with the practical, is better battery life. I mean, everybody has been just complaining about battery life on their iPhone, wanting more, so Apple actually made a pretty good dent in that this year. So the iPhone XS will now last 30 minutes longer than the iPhone X, and the XS Max will last 1.5 hours longer than the 10. A lot of people are gonna be buying that Max just for that battery. Just about a year in here, my iPhone X definitely has some battery issues. I've been too lazy to go in and get it checked out or replaced or anything, but there's many days where I just spend the whole day in low power mode just to get through the day. So yeah, very excited for that. Rounding out my top 5 for the new iPhone features today is the better dynamic range on the screens. In fact, 60% more dynamic range than on the iPhone X. Now I've said this many times on the channel, but I'm gonna say it again here. For many people, the upgrade to HDR or better HDR is a bigger upgrade, a bigger jump for them than just getting more pixels. So a lot of people prefer getting HDR as an upgrade over, or notice it more, than getting 4K. So being able to view pictures captured with that new Smart HDR with more dynamic range is really gonna be awesome on this new OLED screen. There were several other features that were very cool that I was excited about that didn't make it into my iPhone features top 5, so here they are very quickly in order of my excitement. Newer, tougher glass that should break less easily, 120Hz screen for smoother scrolling, apps launching 30% faster, the biggest display on an iPhone ever, lots of new color options which I definitely would have ranked in my top 5 if I didn't know that so many of you were just gonna throw in a case there anyways and cover it all up, faster Face ID unlocking, speed is always better, wider stereo sound, a 2 times faster sensor for video along with 4 mics for better stereo sound. I shoot a lot of video, right? Like I want videos to be as good as possible. IP68 protection, which gives you 30 minutes now to find your phone in 2 meters of water or any other mysterious liquid that you might have dropped your phone into. And finally, dual SIM capability for using 2 numbers with 1 phone. It's cool, it's a good feature if you travel a lot or for whatever, but I don't know. I just found some of the other stuff a little more exciting. I mean, Android has had that for a long time. Moving right along to the Apple Watch, we finally got a new design for the Series 4 this year, which is the first time since the original, even though it looks very similar. The number one new feature for me are all the new watch faces, and there's several. We got some new animated faces with fire, water, and vapor, which look very cool, but I don't think I'm gonna use them as my watch face very often, except when I'm filming, because they look very cool, because I just want more information on my actual display. That's like if you just wanna go off of notifications, which I don't. I'm really intrigued by the new infograph watch face, which lets you load up to 8 different complications and has a modular option. Now, even before the Apple event, when this particular watch face leaked out, people were saying it's ugly, it's too complicated. Complicated, you get that? That's a good joke. And it was just too cluttered. But here's the thing, it can be kind of busy or cluttered, or it can be kind of laid back. It just completely depends on the theme and the complications that you use. Now, I've been saying for a long time, you can go back and check the videos, that I wanted a watch face with more complications. So maybe they actually listened to my feedback. No, probably not. But either way, I'm really excited to give this a try, and I think people are gonna end up really liking this. The next feature that I'm really excited about is the larger screens. Whatever model that you get, whether it's the smaller or the bigger version, your screen's gonna be 30% bigger on the Series 4 than the Series 3. So again, Apple was able to make the screen bigger without making the device bigger, which is a bonus all by itself, but the real benefit is that things are gonna be easier to read and easier to tap and interact with. After the screen size comes something that I think a lot of people are gonna say that's kind of mundane, it's unnecessary, that's not the thing they're most excited about, but look, this new Apple Watch is 2 times faster than the previous model. Now, I'm wearing the previous model right now as I make this video, and there are times, not too often, when it still kind of stutters, and it thinks a little bit too long, and that can get a little bit old pretty quickly. So yeah, speed is better. Number 4 for me, and no, it's not the thing that you think, that you keep waiting like, when is he gonna say it? It's not that thing, and you'll see why in a second. But number 4 for me is the digital crown. It's got haptic feedback now, which is very cool. I just think it's cool tech, like scrolling through a list or something, it's gonna let you know every item that you select. I think this is gonna be a sleeper hit. Like, people aren't gonna realize how cool it is until they experience it. That's just my guess. Number 5 for me, no, it's still not the thing you're waiting for, is the new gold stainless color. Look, it's just nice to have extra options, okay? No, I didn't put the new ECG feature in my top 5. Yes, I absolutely realize it's like a jaw-dropping to have that on your wrist. I get it. But the thing is, I don't buy an Apple Watch for the ECG. Maybe somebody out there does. I buy the Apple Watch for all the other features. In my mind, it's like a very cool, futuristic, nice bonus. So real quick, the other new Apple Watch features that I was excited about but that didn't make my top 5 are the thinner design, because it's always good to be less bulky, the new complications, because I always want more information at my fingertips, and finally the better cell reception, because honestly, who doesn't want that? I just want to add too, there's one other thing that's not Apple Watch or iPhone related that's very cool that I'm actually very excited about. It has to do with the HomePod. It's the fact that the HomePod is getting Siri shortcuts, which basically means that the HomePod is gonna be getting apps that you can make. Don't forget you can follow me, I'm at DailyTech, spelled Daily T-E-K-K, on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and other places where you might find yourself, so go follow me there, and I'll catch you in the next video. Later.